my friends. Welcome back for another episode of I Would Camp That. The lovely Miss Rita and I are going out for a camp tonight. We've been having a blast exploring a bunch of the northern Alberta backroads up in our neck of the woods. There's so many of them, so many different turnoffs. You look at the map, you'll see a road splits off in a bunch of different directions. You start driving those roads, and then you find roads that don't even exist on the map. Lots of oil and gas spots, some places that are still in use, some places that are painfully abandoned, which works great for our adventuring purposes. So we're just going to go to one of the many spots we've explored. I'm hoping to hit up a bunch of those this year and show them to you folks. But that's not all. We have a special guest with us tonight. This episode of I Would Camp That is brought to you by Orange Cat Productions. Where there's an orange chungus bungus, there's a happy camper. This here is Charlie. We've had Charlie for a little over a year now. Been kind of sort of trying to train him to be an adventure cat. This will be his first time ever going out on a real camp. He's had a couple of overnights in the truck just out in front of the house. He's been out for some day trips. He's been out on the leash. He's got a bright, obnoxiously pink harness. For those of you who have followed our channel for a good while, you'll know that my sister unexpectedly passed away last year. And Charlie was actually my sister's big orange boy. He's almost 2 years old. So despite he's what, 16 pounds now?
Last I checked.
Yeah, he's a big boy, and he's almost 2 years old, but he was my sister's cat. She loved him to pieces, and so we adopted him, and here he is now, coming out camping with us in the back of a truck.
Wearing a Barbie pink harness.
Yeah, life is weird.
He's been very good. He tolerates the car ride part very well. It's just the other traffic that seems to spook him, so once we're on a quiet road, he's good. He's had some overnights in the vehicle just directly out of home, and he's been enthusiastic. It's a little hard to get him to settle down, much like any other 2-year-old child, I suppose. But let's see how he is with 2 people in the back for a camping trip. We've got his supplies, and we got some treats for positive reinforcement. And as you can see, he's enthusiastic. He's
like, why aren't you watching what's going on out the window? We're gonna die.
He does enjoy going out for little walkies, provided that he's got Dustin nearby to reassure him. So we'll try to burn off some of his energy and see how he likes sleeping in the truck with 2 people away from home. It's like baby's first sleepover. And for those of you that may be wondering, where's Sunny? Why haven't we had Sunny in a video for a good while? I know we have had some people ask about Sunny, and we were our little gray princess that we were training to be an adventure cat. Rita and I have found, as Sunny's gotten a little older, because Sunny is going to be 5 this year, she's a wonderful little cat. She loves being in the back when everything is still and silent and peaceful. All the other stuff, though, the driving, the going out for walks, not her thing. She's an anxious little creature, and that hasn't gotten better with age. I'd still like for Sunny to appear in some future videos, but we've kind of given up trying to train her as an adventure cat. It just isn't a good fit for her, and we don't want to force that kind of lifestyle on her if it's just going to absolutely wig her out and cause her anxiety and stress. Charlie, though, he loves going outside. He loves seeing new things. He gets a little anxious with the driving, but not nearly as bad as Sunny ever did. So we're hoping that Charlie will be a good candidate for coming out and getting into the camping life, but time will tell. As Rita and I both said, this is Charlie's first actual camp. So if he does look like he's a little stressed out, it is his first camp. We're going to try to ease him into it. Just try to keep things calm and chill and the least amount of stimuli as possible, just to make sure that he enjoys his first night out.
check everything out, make sure it's all safe. I have concerns. Come on, Charlie. He's like, it's not too late to go back into the truck. We've had a little on and off rain too, so the ground's a little mucky. All right, I'm gonna shut the door just gently. Well, I wanted to show you folks a little more of this area, but that might have to wait till tomorrow. The rain just started coming down. I'm getting soaked. We got Charlie in the back, threw up some mosquito netting quick, and I'm just making my way to the back. See y'all there. Okay, we're in the back. I've got some form of mosquito netting, which is getting wet, and honestly, I think all the moisture on top of the canopy will help it stick. Got the Jackery over there, Charlie's litter box. We've got the stealth panels pulled down part way right now just to get some extra light in here. Yeah, it was just like a light drizzle outside, and then it just became like torrential downpour. Now it's raining pretty good out there. I was gonna get out and actually do like a walk around. This is where we are, this is what the area looks like, and no, the Mother Nature had other plans.
I wouldn't call it a downpour. You can hear the tinkle of raindrops and dust, and I don't know if you did this deliberately, but you should take credit. I told you I want to go camping when there's just enough of a light rainfall you can hear it, but not so much that we're worried about the status of the road and getting stuck before we leave.
Well, this is going to be a pretty soupy drive back home, but shouldn't be anything we can't handle. No, it's lovely here in the rain on top of the canopy, and just getting to enjoy the fresh air. I'm gonna shut my side window a little bit more so it doesn't get soaked in here. One lovely thing about the rain is it's driving the bugs away. The mosquitoes were starting to gather in troves there towards the end. Weird thing is, not that I'm complaining about the rain, given how bad Alberta was with wildfires last year, but like there really was no forecast, much of a forecast for rain at all, and we've been getting lots of it, which has been great because, you know, it helps lessen the chance of another wildfire disaster. Sure smells nice and fresh though, eh?
Until Charlie potentially uses the litter box.
That's not fresh.
It's fresh litter.
That's the antithesis towards being fresh.
And he goes, maybe?
Charlie's like, you pointed the GoPro at me like a weirdo. Now I can't do it. I feel awkward. Oh, you a tired boy? You a sleepy boy? You know, for like I don't want to speak too soon, but I mean, I know it's only his first, like the beginning of his first real camp, but he's doing good.
Well, you know, he's got us here for reassurance. He can tell that he has a litter box. I hope he won't be too shy to use it. We'll set him up with... He already ate before we left home, but we're going to set him up with some snacks and some water afterwards. Mm-hmm. He's got both of us here, undivided attention. That's everything his single orange brain cell needs. If you've heard any of those stereotypes of orange cats on the internet about how they're sweet but dumb and they tend to gain weight kind of quick and they're really food-oriented, all of it is true for Charlie. He's sweet. He's dumb. He loves his food a little too much. He's firmly in velociraptor phase as a 2-year-old cat. He is absolutely crazy. I don't know how he's putting on weight with him ricocheting off the walls at home. We'll see how he does for this camp when he's had very short test runs from home. I've been told he basically Still ricochets off the walls from one window to the next. Gotta look at everything. Gotta sit down for a cuddle. Gotta go look out the window again. Rinse and repeat for hours. But that was a couple test runs, and he's got both of us here with undivided attention and some snacks. So I personally think he's going to be an angel. And as soon as we get him home, he's going to be a velociraptor again.
Yeah, the couple of times that I took Charlie out, just out in front of our house, we had the ultimate like glamper setup, extension cord plugged into the house, you know, watching movies, just to see how he would handle it. And when I laid down to go to sleep, yeah, it was a lot of like, he'd come and sit down with me, then he'd get up and go to the window, just constantly wanting to see what's going on out the window. He'd hear something or think he heard something. So yeah, I too am curious to see how this big orange chungus will do. Charlie, say hi to YouTube. See a couple of skeeters there, eh, Charlie? I tell you to kill them, but I really don't want you to wreck the screen. Sunny's already done a little bit of damage to those screens.
Yeah.
Well, I've got the Jackery over by the litter box right now at the foot space of my part of the bed. My phone's plugged in. Charlie's kind of sort of claimed the secondary kitchen box as his place to sit. And in the interest of just keeping things really calm, as low stimulus as possible for Charlie's first night out, and of course with the bugs and the weather going the way that it has, the rain has stopped, but it could start up again. Rita, you just prepared something really simple for dinner tonight, eh?
Yeah, so I have a bunch of turkey and Havarti sandwiches on rye.
Okay.
So there's 3 of them, so if we want to split one, or if you're hungry than me, you can have 2. I got a whole bunch of bell peppers, the little mini ones, perfect for snacking. And because Dustin and I are both human with our own vices, I got another package of pepperoni slices. Let's see, I've got a little bit of snacking cheese, like cheese strings and some baby bells. I have some tomatoes, just cherry tomatoes, just for me, because Dustin doesn't like them, and some churro treats for Charlie. I think he knows what these are.
He's like, I was afraid you didn't bring anything for me.
Oh, I think he knows exactly what these are. Okay, let's give him a snack.
For sure. Oh, chicken paste. This is chicken, right?
Yes.
The funny thing with Charlie, like Sunny, you squeeze the paste out, and Sunny will, just patiently wait and lick the paste, and, like a delicate little flower. If the paste isn't coming out fast enough, as you can see, Charlie will just start chomping on it.
Yep.
And I think the first time we ever gave him one of these, he actually, destroyed a good chunk of the package just chewing on it.
Yep. Oh no. Okay, nope. Yeah, he's already punctured it in a few other places.
Rita and I have switched places. I mistakenly forgot that Charlie's default command is chomp.
He usually gets these for being a good boy after getting his nails trimmed, so I'm used to doing these treats with him a bit more frequently.
Yeah.
Alright, get that part.
Okay, I've got the little fan plugged in. We're just going to let that run. With how muggy it's getting, we're starting to get a little bit of condensation on the windows here, so I'm going to wipe that off. And having a fan on should help with that a little bit. Now we can just sit in the back and relax. Charlie's doing quite well. Just chilling. And I'm about to eat a sandwich.
He's going to be on top of the Jackery wires.
Charlie, what are you doing, man? That's usually a Sunny play.
He just likes feet. Seriously, he just wants to be by your feet.
Well, the fan and the fresh air has really helped with the condensation. And yeah, it's nice and pleasant back here. Rita and I have just been chilling. We had some food. Charlie's had some food and water as well too. And speaking of Charlie, this is where he has decided to chill out for a bit. He's taken the hanging out in a place that's not his usual humble abode quite well. Although I'm curious to see how he'll be when we both go to sleep. But I think we're gonna still light out. Sun isn't gonna set for probably another hour and a half, but I'm feeling pretty tired. Rita's feeling pretty tired. Just something about being camping in the fresh air just makes you want to go to bed early and get up early. So I think we're gonna just wind down and go to sleep. Like I said earlier, I was meaning to actually get out and kind of show you the area that we're in. Hopefully we'll have more favorable weather in the morning, and we'll do that in the morning. And of course, we'll let you know how Big Orange Chungus Happy Camper here does on his first actual camp out. Good morning, everyone. Very brisk morning. I'm almost kind of regretting not bringing a sweater or my coat or something, but lovely morning nonetheless. Last year it was unusually hot for Alberta, and as I've mentioned before, we were having lots of problems with wildfires all over the place. There's an Alberta emergency alert app, and it was just going off repeatedly, like somebody, repeatedly winning the jackpot on a slot machine in Vegas or something. But this year we've been getting a lot more rain. It's been a lot cooler, so we've been getting a lot of nice little cool mornings like this. Rita and Charlie are still in the back, and Rita's still in bed. And mosquito netting did a really good job of keeping the skeeters out. Literally no bugs out right now. It's a little too chilly for them. Netting's soaked though. We got quite a bit of rain last night, more than I expected. One thing I've seen a lot of people do, because we're kind of wanting to up our mosquito netting game this summer, is I've seen a lot of people do like magnets on the side of the box just to try to hold this steady. So we might look into doing something like that this year. We're considering a couple of other options as well. We can definitely do magnets on the actual truck box itself. However, magnets on the canopy doesn't really work because it's a fiberglass canopy. So unfortunately, it doesn't work with magnets. But it is nice to have that option to secure it to the bottom if need be. And Charlie did really well last night. To be expected, he was a little anxious, wanting to go from one window to the other window, not really wanting to sit still. But, he'd go cuddle with Rita, and then he'd come cuddle with me. At one point, he actually, I woke up around 2, and being the fact that I'm diabetic and I'm also a shift worker, I wake up at weird times in the night that the struggle's real. Usually 3:30 a.m. and I are really good friends. Not by choice. Yeah, there's one point I woke up at 2 in the morning and I could hear Charlie actually like breathing and doing little kitty snoring. So yeah, I know he actually did get some sleep. I'm not sure if he used the litter box or anything. I don't think he did. But to be expected, this is new to him. He's only had a couple of the odd little overnight in the truck. He was a lot more anxious the first time we did it at home, but I'm really happy to see that being away from home in a strange place that he did okay. So hopefully with consistency and just more exposure, he'll get more comfortable with the life. And speaking of this place, since we didn't really get to last night, let's check this place out. So this is just an oil and gas related spot. And up in Alberta, these are literally everywhere. Now, this is just a tiny little one. They've got this capped spot here. It's got warnings about high voltage and arc hazards. So, obviously, no touchy. And yeah, just a nice, wide open gravel area. And like I said, these are literally everywhere. There are other sites where there's actual structures and buildings. There's some you'll go to where there's actually like they're big facilities and they're fenced off and there's staff present, and some of them have no trespassing signs as well. So what I like to do is when I'm wandering around, driving these back roads, I like to make note of these areas on my map marker app. And when I make note of them, usually when I'm using my map marker app, I like to color code things, just a lot more eye-catching. With the oil and gas spots, I've started marking them as like a really like, kind of like an ugly dark gray, kind of like the shirt I'm wearing right now. And just so they stand out. And then I'll usually put in some pictures. I'll sometimes put in, there's usually kind of like a barcode or like a letter and number code representing which one it is. Throw some pictures in. I'll even put down if like there's prohibitions or something like that as well too. Like if it very clearly says like, you know, keep out, danger, keep out, I interpret that as no trespassing, stay out. Or if it blatantly has a no trespassing sign. And also too, some of them, Alberta has a really bad habit of some of these sites, like sometimes, you know, they'll clean them up if they're not using them anymore. They'll clean them up, they'll cap them. You'll see there's like an old, like a really old ancient like pipe, like tiny little pipeline piece. But you can clearly tell it's not being used for anything. It's abandoned, it's capped. But then you get some places that are just like, they're clearly not being used for anything and they should be capped, but they're just not. Like someone's just been negligent and just hasn't done anything about it. So yeah, you know, some common sense, just try to interpret how often an area is being used. But these are common staging areas too for like people like us that are just doing an overnight for camping. You'll get people they'll stop here to stage for hunting. Like they obviously won't shoot from here, or they shouldn't be, but I don't know. Some people maybe do because, you know, people are people. But a lot of people will use it as a staging point for hunting or if they're going quadding or something like that. And yeah, they're just literally everywhere. I love exploring these back roads. They're like, this part of Alberta just absolutely fascinates me. And we're just going to go for a little stroll up the road here. Not too terribly far. I don't want Rita to wake up and think I got kidnapped or just decided to leave. Yeah, so this is the road that we came down. It's just a beautiful morning. Like I said, a very crisp morning. Sun's still rising in the distance. And the ground under my feet is a little wet, but I wouldn't really describe it as soupy. So we came from way down that way. And this was another option we could have taken. Was going down this way. And way down at the end of that road, there's another oil and gas site. A bit of a bigger one that looks like it's a little more active. So we opted for the little tiny one that doesn't look like it gets visited as much. Now I know us Canadians are supposed to have thick skin when it comes to the cold, but it's like it's almost down to freezing right now, and I'm a little chilly, so I'm gonna make my way back to the truck and warm up a little bit. Just gotta get under the net here. Morning, Charlie. How you doing? Making biscuits? Good boy. Thanks for holding down the fort while I was gone. Well, I'm just warming up in the back, and thankfully Charlie wants to cuddle and he runs like a furnace. So in addition to having a blanket over my shoulders I have this guy, and that's helping me warm up just fine. I'm just gonna put that back up. Morning, babe. I went out for a little walk earlier. It is a brisk morning.
That's nice.
Very brisk morning. Well, once Rita's ready to go, we'll get Charlie up in front of the truck, and then I think we're gonna get back on the road. We'll see you up in the cab. I was hoping to maybe get Charlie out for one more walk, but it's still a bit brisk out. I'm sure he's eager to get back home to familiar surroundings. He did really well last night. I think he's a bit overstimulated. Like I said, first time out, but definitely exceeded my expectations. I do know for a fact he actually did sleep for a little bit last night.
Yes, I woke up when it was already pitch black out, and he was just tucked into my armpit, purring away even though I was awake.
Yeah.
There was a different point I woke up because of him. All 16 pounds of him was loafed across my chest.
Yeah. Charlie, you can't work the gas and the brakes while I drive. I don't think I'd be able to justify that to one of the highway patrol guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us, folks. Everybody, please give some love to Charlie in the comments. Congratulate him on his first real camp out. And hopefully we'll get him out for another adventure here soon. Stay classy, my friends. We'll see you all in our next adventure.